All right, folks, today we're going to be learning about texture. All right, texture is one of the 7 elements of art and is what you use in order to describe art. Okay, so it says when you are drawing texture on an object, you show how it would feel to that touch of the object. You make it more lively, make the shapes below more lively by filling them in with texture beside each shape. So it's telling you here that you would need to put this texture of wood into this blank wood shape, this texture of fabric, brick, and leaves on a tree. And that's what makes it more lively. So it's not actual, like you can actually feel it, but you would seem like you would know what it would feel like. All right, today we're going to be doing a textured hand, all right? This is just a little fun, easy project. You'll be tracing your hand, and each finger and even inside of the hand, you would make it sort of a different texture. All right here they have something called burlap, which is a type of fabric, brick, scaly, cactus, and maybe furry. But I'm not saying you have to do all these 5. You get to do what you want. And today we're going to practice some. You can practice along with me, or you can do the ones on your own. So it says texture. It says there are 2 types of texture, actual and implied. So actual texture uses the sense of touch and you can feel it. So the actual texture is what you can actually see and touch. Implied texture looks as if the texture is an illusion, all right? Meaning that, wow, that looks so cool. It looks like, you know that it looks like fur. You know that it looks like a feather, a piece of wood, paper towel, all right? Just like the examples on here. So we're gonna be trying to do some implied texture in our drawing today. All right, so I went ahead and drew my hand or traced my hand. And remember, when you trace, you leave your pencil straight up and down. You never bend your pencil when tracing, because when you do that, then your hand looks a little skeletal and skinny and not the way you want it. So remember, trace, go ahead and trace half your wrist or a little bit of your wrist and leave your pencil straight up and down. I'm gonna go ahead and use a micron pen just so it can come out better when you're doing these. The first finger I'm going to try to do is a brick. So you can do this as well. You can follow along with me, or you can, like I said, do the one on your own. So I'm gonna do a brick texture to make it look like it's rocky, it's rough, all right? And I'm using a micron pen just because it shows up a little bit better. And so I'm gonna be using, so bricks are usually layered in a way where it's almost like what do you call it, blocks, like Legos. That's the word I was looking for. And the lines aren't very straight. And they're gonna be, there's a line in between the middle of each one. So that's what I'm doing here. And sometimes there are gonna be some cracks, a little bit of gaps to make it look like that rough texture. And you can go ahead and go off a little bit, off the finger. It doesn't always have to stay inside the shape, to make it a little bit unbalanced, or maybe somewhat of some imperfections. And maybe there's a little piece missing. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this. I'm sorry, time lapse this so you can see how this is going to look like. All right, folks, so there is our brick. And if you noticed, I added some stippling to add some texture to the bricks. I had some cracks. I had some dark in between to create some shadow. And I added just my little ideal of maybe just a weed growing through the cracks. And after you finish this, maybe you can add your own little flowers. You can add some colors. All right, and you don't have to use a pen. The reason why I'm using one, it just comes out better. I would want you to use a pencil just in case you mess up and you need to erase some mistakes. I want you to go ahead and color this one as well. And I'm gonna move on to the next one. So let's do a cactus. All right, so a cactus one is pretty fun. Again, I'll go ahead and time lapse this and feel free to press pause. And I'll leave this picture up so that we can see what it looks like. All right, folks, we went ahead and created our cactus. These little spikes, I wouldn't create too many of them because then it might look hairy instead of maybe looking more like a cactus. To add some shadow work to make it even more realistic, we can do some hatching and cross hatching to the side of the cactus. We can add some flowers. So I'll go ahead and do one more, and then I want you to do the rest on your own. I'm gonna do maybe, I know Halloween is over, but maybe we can do a finger that has been cut. It might be a little gory, but it makes it look realistic. It makes it look like maybe a cut up finger. Maybe it could be a zombie finger. So let's go ahead and try that out, and I'll go ahead and time lapse that. More realistic, I am going to erase this part. You might need to do some erasing too. And that's what I like to call my zombie finger. A part of the finger fell off, it's exposing the bone. And I'm gonna just do some stippling to make it look like, you know, rough, maybe some dead skin. And that's our little gory, funny looking finger. And you can do some hatching on the corner of the bone. And that's not the way a real finger bone would look like. I'm just doing a cartoony one. All right, folks, the rest you're going to do on your own. I can't wait to see how they look like. I'm gonna add some color to these just so you can see how they would look like. So for my brick, I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse that, but I went ahead and got some reds. And for our cactus, we're going to get maybe some 3 greens. I got a dark green, a light green. For our zombie finger, it's going to be maybe some fleshy color and some green. So I'm gonna do some light green. And a little bit of red for the flesh, or pink. And there we go, folks. Again, I want you to do the rest on your own. You can even do the palm, add some color to it, and that'll be the end. You can even do the side right here. Maybe you can do some cool cracks effects. So meaning that maybe the hand is coming up from a cave and it looks really cool. And you can add some hatching to make it look like it's coming out of somewhere. All right, folks, can't wait to see how they come out.